goodness. So I'm finally able to give you the flip through of my 2018 bullet journal. This has been a long awaited video, so I'm excited to bring it up. I'm going to actually go through this page by page. So I'm going to stop on pages where I feel like it's best to stop on and kind of explain what's going on, but I'm not going to do that to every page because that'll take forever and I don't want to keep you guys here for like the entire day. So here we go. Right now, just so you know what I'm using, this is the lemon colored Leuchtturm journal, the dotted bullet journal, and yeah, I loved it. This is the second time I was using this style of notebook and I absolutely love it. I'm trying something different for this year, but that'll be a separate video. I'm just going to show you what I did with this one. So let's jump on in. So this year, I didn't do a pull-out key like I did last year. I'll link it below, my previous bullet journal flip through. I did, however, add these block color coding tabs because I was trying to do a block scheduling system, which I ended up not liking and didn't really do, but you'll see in the journal when I tried to do that. So that didn't really pan out. This is kind of interesting. This is actually done in a calligraphy pen, so this is actual dip ink, and as you can see, it kind of ghosts a little bit, but doesn't bleed. So that's just interesting. So next we have my index, and I ended up using this quite a bit. I don't necessarily reference it a lot, but I do reference it enough to where I feel like it's something that's useful to have. I mark on here with the blue dots the month pages just so they're easier for me to kind of identify when the next month is coming up, but I found out that that's really not that relevant or necessary, so I don't think I'm going to do that going forward. Then just an opening page, be grateful, which is something that I like to remind myself of constantly. This is something that I'm super proud of. I actually wasn't sure what this was going to look like. I didn't have anything in mind when I started doing it, but I really, really love how it came out. So this is obviously my year at a glance calendar, and the way I did this was I first did the numbers, and then I kind of drew the flowers on the outside just to kind of fill them in and see it, make it look continuous. But I would recommend, if you do this, to start with pencil because quite a few mistakes were made. But it's really fun, and I didn't want to add too much color to it, but I like how it came out a lot. My future log, I use this as a future log and as a calendex, and I swear by this system. I did a 2-page spread, so it's not so crowded. A 4-page spread. And so I really, really love how this came out. You can see I have birthdays in pink, trips in green, holidays in blue, events in orange. Any calendex stuff is in red. Schools closed in light green because that was for my son when he was in preschool. And then I like to track the full moon. I noticed, or at least my husband noticed, that I have like behavioral changes around the full moon, and I wanted to see if that was actually true. I didn't really seem to notice a pattern, but I thought I'd mark the full moons anyways just for that. But I really, really love this system, and you'll see the numbers that are boxed in red are all calendex. So for instance, on the 16th of April, I had to reference page 66, and that would have been what I wrote down, what appointment or event I had going on. So this was kind of my goals for the year, and I kind of checked them off as I went through. There are some that I didn't really keep up with. Keep a clutter-free home. That was a hard one. Still working on that. That is a job in progress. And then, you are capable of amazing things. I really love this quote, and I feel like it's something that it's nice to remind myself of. These are my YouTube subscribers. I didn't really keep up with this. And then YouTube ideas. When did I last? This I didn't keep up with either, but I really like how it came out, and I like the idea of it. It's basically like, when was my last haircut? When was my last mani, pedi, massage, hanging out with friends, date night, visited Arizona, because my family's in Arizona. So this is a really good concept. It's just something I don't really reference very often. And then this was projects, which I ended up not really using as much because I ended up doing separate spreads for projects, so that wasn't really that useful. So this is 2 different spreads, even though it looks kind of the same. This was words Jack knows. So Jack is my youngest son, and I was kind of keeping track of, by the age of 2, how many words does he know? Because it's something that it's nice to kind of have for whenever I have his doctor's appointment, but it's also something that it's interesting for me to keep track of and just to see the things that like are in his vocabulary. And then on this spread, it was actually things Julia says. And so this is my older son, and he just says the funniest things. He's in that adorable younger or older toddler stage where he just says really silly stuff. So like silly mister, or Jackie is out of control. I mean, just like silly things, but I really like to keep track of that. I didn't write down as many as I'd like to, but it's something. So here's January. I really love how January came out last year. I thought it was so pretty. This was actually my mood tracker. So you'll see I have the happy, stressed, productive, and angry. So it was a pretty happy and productive month, which is actually very good to know. And then this was kind of like my own version of some sort of geometric drawing. I like how it came out. I always do a month at a glance, and I do it vertically so that way I can have space on both sides, for sometimes I have things that are going on the same day, and so I like to keep track of that. And typically I'll just circle kind of big events. So this was a concert we went to, this was my son's birthday, things like that. And then I didn't continue this sleep log. I think I might have done it for February, but this is something that I really think I should bring back because I really enjoyed doing it. Again, I'm not doing a traditional bullet journal this year, at least not yet, so I can't do it. So that's kind of one of the downsides of that other system that I have, but I will show you, I'll go into that in detail later. But this was nice because I have it from every day of the month, and then I have from 8 p.m. through noon the next day, and I keep track of how much I sleep. And so you can see I had one day where I slept a heck of a lot, 12 hours. That's amazing. For someone who's a mom of 2 little ones, 12 hours is kind of spectacular. Then I had a monthly waiting on. I kind of switched this up from doing weekly to monthly because I couldn't figure out what I liked better. I think I like the monthly because then I can just, when I have stuff that I'm waiting on, like packages or things from other people, I don't have to keep on moving them over from week to week. I can just do the monthly spread and check it out. So I like having it monthly. And then we have gifts because I have a lot of birthdays in January and February, so I just kept track of gifts that I had to buy. This is one of my favorite spreads. You'll probably see this layout throughout my journal quite a bit. I really love it. I do Sunday through Friday, and then I do Saturday. And here's all my habit trackers. There are a few things that I don't do very often, so I just ended up chucking them from my habit tracker later on. But then I have my to-do list for the week, a quick little month at a glance, which I always love to have this here because it's nice for me to plan out my month. And if I'm doing something the following week, I like to know what day of the week it is, or if I'm on a phone call coming up with an appointment and I'm already open to this spread, I don't have to jump over to my month. I can just look here and quickly see what's going on. So that's actually very useful for multiple reasons. And then I do next week, so it's whatever I have going on the following week. Here's a Calendex thing. So on January 12th, on my Calendex, would have been marked page 21, because that's what this is. This was just a note page that I didn't really go through very well. So I'm just going to go through and show you a few more things. Oh, here is a food log that I tried to do. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So this was for 1 week, and highlighted are all the things that were vegan because I wanted to see if I could transition myself to being fully vegan, which I've then kind of since then have changed, but that was something that I was trying to do. This is another one of my favorite spreads. I did this one quite a bit. I love how it's all kind of centered here, and then I still have all of the same functions as the other ones. So I have my habit tracker condensed, my to-do list, my daily or my monthly calendar, but I just love the look of this one. I think that it's really pretty. And now this is something that's not as pretty, but I use this one probably the most because sometimes I just don't have time to do like a full layout. And so a quick and easy week here with a to-do list here has been kind of just like my basic, like can't miss, just easy going spread. So this one you'll see a lot of as well because it's something that I used a lot. Just some notes. And then we went into February. So February has a similar look to January with the mood tracker being within the name, monthly glance. So I'll just kind of go through this one pretty, basically, because I'm not gonna go through this one in such detail just because it looks the same as January pretty much. Here's March. So we're at March now, and I kept the look pretty much the same, but I wanted to add these flowers because I was really obsessed with flowers, and I haven't done these in a really long time, so I think I want to do them again. If you guys would like to see a video on how to do these flowers, I can definitely do that because this is something that I really am obsessed with doing, so I'm going to bring those back into my journal again. Here I tried a different spread. I wanted to do something a little bit different, but I don't really like how it came out. It was a little too sparse, and I think I also just didn't really have enough time that week to really devote a lot of, I guess, time for detail, so this was not one of my favorites. This was fun. So for here, I did something different. I wanted to see if I could do a day spread for each one rather than a weekly spread. It didn't continue on past this because it just didn't work out, but I did like the idea of having my trackers in a different way. So this is like my vitamins and my antibiotics, things like that. And then this was me kind of just trying different lettering styles of the alphabet. I had a lot of fun with this. I don't think I even put this on Instagram or anything, but this was just something where I wanted to try different styles of lettering. I did a video on this spread. This was actually using Bumble created stickers. So all of these are really cool stickers that I got from Bumble created. They came in this color, so I used kind of similar colors to accent it and to fill it in. So these all came black and white, but these were colored. So these I filled in, and then these I filled in as well. This was another Bumble created sticker. You could use this for various different things, but I chose to use this as my June header page. I really, really love this. I probably could have colored it in more, but at the time I wanted to keep it really simple. And then I used some more Bumble created stickers here. This was for my sleep log. So this was the days of the week, 1 through 31. But you can see I'm no longer really keeping up with a sleep log at that point. So here for my July page, I actually have a lot of scrapbooking books, and they have these really pretty papers in them, and so I just cut them out and use them as my headers, and I really like how they came out. I thought they were really pretty. They do kind of make it a little bit bulkier, so it might not be something I'd want to do for every page unless I want my book to be really thick, but for this month I thought it was really cute. Here I wanted to try something that was a little bit more just simple and minimalist in terms of color. I wanted to just do the black ink and nothing else. I like the way it comes out visually, but in terms of functionality, I like the color to break up the page so my eye doesn't kind of just go everywhere. So that's just something to keep in mind. So this was actually supposed to be, it's hard to tell in the camera I think, but there's light pencil marks here. I was actually supposed to do a full month spread here, but I never got around to it. So I actually saved a few pages to be my monthly spread, and I never had time to do it. So that month just was kaput. This was a new way of tracking things. I stopped using my habit tracker for a while, and this was actually supposed to be water, vitamins, and medication. And so whenever I took them, I would fill it in. So I kind of liked that for a while. It was my own little code. So this is October. I went heavy on the Halloween theme here. I thought it would be fun to just kind of do something totally different. So I went to Pinterest for a lot of this stuff, a lot of ideas, and kind of just put together elements of different things that I saw online that I thought would be really cool. So this is my mood tracker. I didn't fill it in, but that was the concept. 31 days, so 31 little slots. So when I was mentioning earlier that I did these blocks, I was doing the block scheduling, so this is kind of what it was referencing. I'll show you like this. So you can see morning is yellow, outings are pink, things like that. This was actually a system that I learned from Jordan Page, and I like the concept of it, but for me it just didn't really pan out. Like, I like to see my schedules not really in blocks of time, but in actual, like, I don't know, in like an actual layout that I normally do. So this wasn't something that I stuck with, but this was kind of like an idea of what I was going to do. So these are all the things I wanted to do in the mornings. This is all the things that I wanted to do kind of when we go out. These are the things that I was going to do. I don't even know what color that is. During school time. So yeah, it was definitely a ambitious goal, but it didn't stick with me. This was a spread of things I'm thankful for in November. I forgot to keep up with this, which I was kind of bummed about because I really, really liked the idea of it. I made separate little frames for everything. So hopefully next time I do this, I'll actually stick with it. This was probably one of my favorite spreads. I did this one a few different times. The layout you've seen before, but I just highlighted it with different colors, which I thought was really pretty. December was supposed to be a lot more elaborate, but I ran out of time, so I didn't really get a chance to do too much with it. And that's it. So I actually have a few pages at the end, and I was thinking of using those up, but I like to keep my bullet journals on an annual basis, so right here I wrote down the year, and so I'm just gonna leave those blank. That's just my prerogative. I say do whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. But yeah, so that was my bullet journal for 2018. I was really happy with it. I love this bullet journaling system. It's something that I really feel is something that works for me a lot. So let me know in the comments below what you guys love about bullet journaling, and if you haven't tried it, what's something that you're interested about. And yeah, I really love hearing from you guys. Okay, so thanks so much. Have a good day. See you in my next video. Bye.